Hello, this is Business Live from BBC News with Victoria Fritz and Sally Bundock.
Another bad call for Huawei. The Chinese telecoms giant's finance chief's arrested for allegedly breaking US sanctions on Iran.
Live from London, that is our top story today, Thursday, the 6th of December. Meng Wanzhou was arrested in Canada. She's the daughter of Huawei's founder, and the move is bound to heighten tensions in the US-China trade war. Also in the programme, higher oil prices are in the pipeline. OPEC oil producers look set to cut production as they meet in Vienna despite the warnings from President Trump. And the rout that decimated the markets in Asia continues, dragging Europe down with it.
And we've got the baby bag boom. We're going to talk to the woman trying to make changing nappies as stylish as changing bags for both women and men, and find out how the right kit can help parents keep one step ahead of their kids. Also, we want to know, are you concerned about who's using your data and for what purpose? We're talking about this today in the light of the latest revelations about Facebook. Get in touch. Just use the hashtag BBC BizLive.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Business Live. The stakes have been upped in the trade war between the US and China. That's because the daughter of the founder of the Chinese telecoms giant Huawei has been arrested in Canada. Meng Wanzhou is the chief financial officer of the firm and now faces extradition to the United States. Few details have been released, but it's being reported in Canada that she is accused of trying to break US sanctions on Iran. Huawei says it is not aware of any wrongdoing and that the Chinese government is already calling for her release. Well, let's speak now to our correspondent Robin Brandt, who is in Shanghai for us. Robin, how is the news being received in China?
Well, they're not happy. I mean, this happened on December the 1st, the same day that President Xi and President Trump were sitting across the table at the G20 trying to sort out their differences over trade. We've heard from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the last hour or so saying there's been no clarification from the Canadians or the Americans as to why she has been arrested. In a previous statement, the embassy in Ottawa said this was a breach of her human rights. There is due to be a hearing in Canada tomorrow when presumably more details about the allegations will come out, but it's being reported this is about Iranian sanctions and claims that Huawei may have been selling material of US origin, material it's licensing to Iran. Now, this isn't just about targeting one person or one company. This is a hugely significant sign of a much more aggressive move against China, and it comes right in the middle of this trade war. And this is Washington, the Justice Department there, the Trump administration as a whole, saying it will not tolerate anymore what it sees, what it alleges are breaches of sanctions in place about doing business with companies in Iran.
And as you say, likely to supercharge those trade tensions between the US and China.
Yeah, I mean, look at the symbolism. It probably is unrelated, but this arrest happened in Canada just as the two leaders were sitting down to try and sort things out. And we had a period that looked like a brief rapprochement, didn't we, in terms of the trade war? We certainly know that the escalation due for the start of next year is being postponed and there are now negotiations in place. But, you know, this is a move, as I said, not just against a person or a company, but it's a hugely significant moment in terms of the message going from Washington to Beijing about one of the most fundamental disagreements they have, really, and that is about the trading relationship between the two countries. And America knows how important Huawei is, a huge telecoms company, very successfully globally as well, and a pillar, really, of China's ambitions for its economy going forward. And this, of course, is a huge blow, if the allegations turn out to be true, to the prospects of this company.
OK, Robin Brandt in Shanghai. Thank you.
Well, let's now look at how markets have reacted to all of this. Karishma Vaswani is our Asia business correspondent based in Singapore. Karishma, the markets didn't take to this very well at all because, of course, this comes into the context of this ongoing trade spat between the US and China.
Indeed, Sally, and it is to be expected. We have seen the various twists and turns of the relationship between the United States and China being reflected on the minds of investors out here in Asia and in the US. And today, a very specific reaction amongst Shanghai and Hong Kong markets, in Hong Kong and Shanghai markets, I should say, and in particular, companies, the shares of companies like ZTE, for instance, which was subject to a US banning order earlier in the year over security fears. We saw shares of that company down some 8%. Other chip makers as well, and big Chinese heavyweights like Tencent also down, another big Chinese tech firm over there. Suppliers to Huawei also seeing their shares fall significantly. And I think that sentiment being felt across Asian markets because of the ongoing concerns, Sally, over what this actually means within the context of the US-China trade war. As Robin pointed out, her arrest happened on December the 1st when the two leaders were sitting down having a conversation, trying in some way or another to get us on a road to recovery and getting us some sort of a reprieve, even though the details of the U.S. trade deal with China still aren't all that clear. But this particular arrest is being seen, according to some that I've spoken to in China, as an attack not just on Chinese tech, but on China's ambitions to emerge on the global stage. So a very worrying sign of the relationship between these two giants.
OK, Karishma, thanks very much indeed.
Let's take a look at some of the other stories that are making the news today. And the British government says it's stopping a visa scheme that allows foreign investors a fast-track route to settling in the UK. It's part of a broader crackdown on financial crime amid concerns that money launderers are taking advantage of Tier 1 investor visas. The scheme was set up to encourage investment and means that £2 million of investment bought a visa and indefinite leave to remain after 5 years.
Ted Baker's confirmed that a law firm will carry out an investigation